What's up, guys? Are you in the market for a budget-friendly drone that's loaded with all of the high-end features? Let me show you the Ruko F11PRO 2. I've been using it for a couple months now and I absolutely love it. Let's take a closer look. Not going to waste a whole lot of time unboxing, but you do get this nice little carrying case. When you open it up, you'll have this foam padding there. Now, again, I've been using this for a couple months. Everything does come wrapped. Your batteries come in boxes and all that good stuff. But as I mentioned, I've been using it. So up here, you're going to have all your paperwork and user manuals. They do send some spare parts. You get some extra blades, a little screwdriver. You get a couple extra handles for your remote in case you drop or lose one. And then you do get 3 different cords. You can see 2 here, and then I already have one plugged into the remote. It's the appropriate cord. That's what we're going to use to plug directly into our phone. Does come with 2 different batteries. I'll put the specs on the screen as far as they're concerned. I want to say I typically get about a half hour per battery, give or take, depending on the conditions. You get your charging cords, obviously, and then here's the drone itself. Does have a built-in ID module, so you don't have to worry about adding anything like that. It's FAA compliant. Unfold the front legs first, then the rear, and you can see that's what it looks like. Take the camera cover off. All you got to do is just pull that tab on the back and the camera cover will pop right off. 3-axis gimbal on the camera. The videos are very, very smooth, even in a little bit windy conditions, as you're going to see. Of course, I'll give you some footage on the screen there, but the 3-axis gimbal is very, in my opinion, if you're going to buy a drone, get a drone that has a 3-axis gimbal. Your videos are much, much smoother. As you're going to see, this is no exception. Then we have our remote. And down here, you can see a couple spots to store your knobs. So they basically just screw into your 2 locations like so. And then as far as on the remote, just a quick look at the buttons. Very, very simple and user-friendly. This button here, if you push and hold it, it'll turn your blades on and get ready for takeoff. Obviously, you have your 2 controlling knobs. Return to home button. The drone can be anywhere. If you hit that button, it's going to come right back to you without you having to do anything further. You have your speed control button. That's how you control if you want it on a slower speed. I tend to use it on the slower speed because I'm using it for action, you know, getting pictures of the truck and videos of the truck, stuff like that, even on the boat. Power knob there. This is your compass calibration button right here. I'll show you what we do with that. You have your charging port on the side. On the back top of the remote, this here is what controls your camera. The camera does tilt up and down. And then you have a photo if you want to take a quick picture. And then the edge over here is the video. If you want to start a video, you can use those buttons right there instead of doing anything on the phone. I'll show you that as well, but just a quick way to do it from the remote itself. Now, as I mentioned, this thing is very, very user-friendly. So we're basically just going to take one of the batteries, pop it in the back. You'll feel it and hear it click in. Then you're going to take, depending on what phone you have, that's where you have to decide which cord out of the 2 that I showed you and the one I already have on here. Again, I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max, so you have to get the appropriate cord that's going to plug into your phone. And I'll show you, I'll give you a closer look. These cords, this is what they look like. Again, you're going to have one end has a little picture of a remote on it. Hopefully you can see that. That's the end that plugs into the remote, obviously. The other end, you have to find the cord that works with your phone. Okay, once you get the appropriate cord, there's a spot down in there. You can't miss it. You take the remote end, plug it into that location, and then the other end is going to plug into our phone when we get to that point. Now, speaking of our phone, one thing I want to point out to you guys that I love on this drone, I've had several different budget-friendly drones in the past. I've done videos on them here on the channel. One thing I love about this remote that not all of them have, if you look really close, hopefully you can see there's grooves in these pads that are going to hold our phone in place. Okay, hopefully you can see them there. When I'm doing my editing, if you can, I'll take a couple pictures. Why they're so important is when we put our phone in there, that's what's going to hold our phone in place. If those grooves weren't there, again, not all drones have it, not all drone remotes have that. What happens is the buttons on the side of your phone end up getting pushed in and held in by the pressure from the remote. Okay, so let me show you what I mean and why that's so handy. Once we get the remote in place, you're going to see, once I get it in the grooves and lined up, you can see, hopefully, how the phone just sets in those grooves, and you may even be able to see there's a little gap. And the phone is on there solid. It's not going anywhere, but there's a little gap, so you don't have to worry about the pads on either the top or the bottom of the remote pushing the buttons on the side of your phone. That gets so annoying on other drones. So I just wanted to point that out. Ruko, awesome job on that design. Something that simple and something that stupid makes a world of difference when you're trying to control this thing and not having to worry about the remote pushing the buttons on the side of your phone. Okay, next thing you want to do is just download the Ruko Mini app. I'll put a picture on the screen so you know exactly what the app looks like. You could also just scan the barcode in the instruction manual. It'll take you right to the appropriate app. Once you do that, obviously we already have it, so we're just going to plug the other end of our cord into our phone, and we're ready to turn this thing on, calibrate it, and start flying. It's very, very user-friendly. So let me show you what you need to do to get it calibrated and start having some fun. All right, guys, so I'm going to do a screen recording of my phone, and I'll put that on your screen as well. Basically, all we're going to do is there's this black button on the back of the drone. We're going to push and hold that until we hear some beeps. You want to put it on a nice, flat, level surface before you do that, facing away from you. So we're just going to go ahead and put it down on the ground and push and hold that button. You'll hear that confirmation. Then you're just going to push the power button on the remote. Press it once and then push and hold. The remote's going to beep. Now you're going to hear a series of beeps, and what that's doing is it's pairing to the drone. Once it's paired, you'll get another kind of steady beep. You'll hear it. Okay, that steady beep right there tells us now they're now paired. Drone and remote are paired up. Now, the other thing I really like about this drone is you don't have to go in and mess with any kind of Wi-Fi settings or anything like that. Because you have a wired connection, we don't have to do anything with Wi-Fi. Again, if you've seen my videos on other budget-friendly drones, you have to go in and pair to the drone's Wi-Fi and all that stuff. That gets a little dicey. You get a little, sometimes it breaks up. It's a wired connection to your phone, which is awesome. So all we got to do is click on the Ruko Mini app, click on control, and you can see on the phone screen we are now connected. Now, of course, we're going to calibrate it before we fly it. I do that before every flight. So all we're going to do is push that calibrate button that I showed you, and if you watch my phone screen that I have up there for you, you'll see it says compass calibration. So all you got to do is, I'm going to set the remote down. You pick the drone up a couple feet off the ground, you spin it counterclockwise till you hear a beep right there. Go vertical. Another beep. We're going to go ahead and set it down. And now you can see on our screen, we have the step 3. Just click on calibration where it says that. Calibrating gyroscope. And then in the top left, you'll see vertical calibration. Okay. So we're ready to go. So now to turn the blades on, you can do one of two things. Push and hold the upper left button there, or take your 2 joysticks and go down and in. That's typically what I do. I don't know why, just personal preference. So we're going to go ahead and turn the blades on. And then to take off, we're just going to hit the left joystick, hold it up for a second, and you'll see it take off and hover. All right, so I let it hover for a few seconds just to make sure it's, it's not going to toilet bowl or start spinning. I will say in my couple months of using this, I've had 0 issues. As long as, if you look at the phone screen, that green star at the top where you can see there's numbers kind of jumping around, as long as that's under 120, that tells you the interference is good. So you want that level to be under 120. Right now, it looks like we're hovering around 90-ish, give or take. As long as that number's under 120, I've never had a problem losing control of this thing. Never toilet bowls, nothing. So we're ready to fly. So I'm going to send it up. We'll fly it around a little bit. I'll give you some, you'll be able to see the footage and the quality of the images. You can see the other items on the screen. You have your satellite connection, your battery levels of the remote and of the drone. Down on the bottom, you can see the distance, the D. Right now it says 0.7 feet because we're standing right next to it. The height is about 6 feet off the ground. HS stands for horizontal speed. That's how fast you're going forward or backwards. And then VS is vertical speed. That's how fast you're going up or down. The controls itself, very easy. The left joystick, hold it up, the drone goes up. Pull it down, the drone comes down. If you go left, the drone is gonna, let me make sure, I wanna make sure it's in frame so you can see it. The joystick, if you just go to the side, it's gonna spin. Go the other way. And then the right knob is how you go forward, backward, or just fly side to side, which you'll see. I don't want to do it right now because I'll hit myself in the face with it. But so the controls are pretty basic. It just takes, if you've never flown one before, it just takes a minute to get used to them. So let's go ahead and send this up in the air. We'll give you some footage of the surrounding area, and then we'll go over all of the extra features that it has as far as the follow me, the circle me. It has all of those functions and features which work flawlessly. So let's fly it around a little bit. While you're kind of checking out the footage and everything, another thing I noticed with this drone is it's very smooth for a budget-friendly drone. Some of them are kind of jerky as you're trying to like control them or rotate them side to side. It's also very steady in the wind. I will say that as well. Right now, it's a little breezy today. It's not too bad. It's about a 15-mile-per-hour wind we have going on today, but it is very, very good in the wind. So I will say that. So let's go check out this lake a little bit. Go a little closer to that. I'll give you a look at the camera going up and down as well, because again, that's very smooth. So right now you can see we're about 378 feet in the air. Distance, we're approaching 500 feet away and climbing. You can see we're going about 14 miles an hour roughly with that horizontal speed. And now that we're over the lake, I'll give you a look at the camera. So if you, again, using that control knob, you can pan down. You can do it quicker or nice and slow. Again, it's very smooth. I've had some other budget-friendly drones in the past that it's just a little jerky. It's hard to control. The camera and the drone itself, it's a little bit jerky when you're trying to spin it or, you know, do certain maneuvers with it. So as you can see, this thing is very smooth. I've been very impressed with it over the last couple months, especially at the price point. So let's take it out a little bit. We're going to go quite a distance. I'll show you. I've never had any trouble with the signal getting interrupted or anything like that. So you can see we're over 1,000 feet away now. We're still about 377 feet high. If you do ever get any kind of interference while you're flying, it will pop up on the screen just to show you that you're getting a little interference. At that point, you'll probably want to either return it to home or go to a different location, fly in a different direction, something like that, because it's picking up some kind of interference. But you can see we're out to almost 1,500 feet away now. You can see we're kind of coming back in. We're approaching back to about 1,500 feet. I'll stop pretty soon and then I'll show you the return to home feature. Again, does extremely well with this wind. It's not super breezy today, but it's a good 15 to 20 miles an hour wind today. I'll also, real quick, I'll give you a look at the camera again. I know we did it over the lake, but again, you can see how smooth it is. I'll go a little quicker so you can see that as well. So we'll lower it, and then if you hold the knob all the way, it'll go a little bit quicker. I tend to do it slower just because it looks smoother. You get better shots. So, all right, so we're 1,400 feet away, 378 feet high. I'm just going to go ahead and push the return to home button right there. And you can stay hands off. The drone is now going to come back to us. We don't have to do anything further, and you'll get a look at how close and how well it does with the return to home feature as it makes its way back to us. Typically, again, if the interference isn't all that bad, it typically lands within a couple feet of where it took off. So that's, again, that's pretty impressive in my opinion. for a budget-friendly drone. And you can see the return to home, it goes pretty quick. It's up to about 18 miles an hour. You can see the distance is flying down. We're already down to about 600 feet there. Still 378 feet high, but yeah, it'll come home pretty quickly. I'm waiting to hear it. Oh, I actually do hear it. I'm trying to see where it's at. Okay, I see it. It's just about almost right above us. So it'll get to right above us, and then it'll start the descent, and again, land a couple feet from where it took off. So while it's climbing down, where this comes in handy is, let's say you're flying it and you kind of lost track of where you're at. It's not hard to do, to be honest. It does have the little map down in the left-hand corner of the phone screen. That does help, but again, if you're new or you're not used to flying these things, if you do get disoriented and you're not exactly sure where it's at or how to get it back to you, all you got to do is hit that return to home button, and it comes right back. So it's coming down. It's zero. It's literally right above me. You'll see it coming into frame in a second. And there you go. It just landed right there. As I mentioned, hopefully you can see it right there. So it landed a little, I'd say, I don't know, that's maybe 3 or 4 feet away from where it took off. But again, in these windier conditions, that's still not bad in my opinion. We're not dealing with a $2,000 drone here. So that's gives you a good look at, you know, the basics of flying it. Let me show you the other functions and we'll wrap this up.
All right, guys, so here you'll see me getting ready in position. Basically, before you hit the follow me or the GPS follow mode, you want to put yourself as far, you know, if you want to be 10 feet in front of it, 30 feet in front of it, whatever, just get yourself in position. And then all you have to do is click on that little arrow on the left-hand side of the screen that's right in the middle of the screen. That's going to open up all your other options. You click on that GPS follow, and as you can see, you can start walking and moving, and the drone is going to follow you. You can also pan the camera up and down, as I'm showing you here. That will not affect it. The drone will keep following you. You could also take the drone higher or lower. The only thing you can't do is fly it left or right. That'll exit you out of the follow me mode. But again, you can raise it or lower it, you know, to get it where you want it. You can see here, if you start walking back towards the drone, once it senses that, it's going to go in reverse, keeping you in the frame. So as long as you're walking directly at it, it's going to go in reverse. And again, it's kind of just another cool feature. Technically, you're following it, but you're still in the frame. Now, as you're going to see here, I start kind of hooking around to the right of it. When you do that, it's going to sense it, and because I'm not walking directly at it, you'll see it's going to spin, and then it'll start following me once I get in front of it again. So very cool feature to have, works really well, absolutely love it. Great for getting cool shots of the truck and on the boat and all that good stuff, works really well. All right, so here you can see we're going to do the fly around mode or the orbit mode. Basically, whatever you want it to orbit, you want to have it directly underneath the drone to start. So I was standing directly underneath the drone. I hit that same arrow button to open up all the options. I hit the fly around. What's going to happen is the drone is going to back up 16 feet and then start to circle you in a counterclockwise motion. So it'll be a 16-foot diameter circle. Again, you can pan the camera up and down, as I'm going to show you here. You can take it higher or lower as well. If you want to make the circle bigger or the diameter bigger, 16 feet is the default. But if you want to see, you can see right there, I'm waving my hand that I'm going to hit it's the right joystick. If you hold the right joystick down, that's basically going to fly the drone backwards. That's how you're going to increase the circle or the diameter. I can't remember what it goes up to. It does go up to a pretty good distance. The minimum is 16 foot, which is the default. But again, the right joystick, if you hold it down, the drone will back up. It'll make the circle wider or bigger, and it also slows it down. So the bigger the diameter, the slower the drone will go. Makes it really cool to dial in some awesome shots. Again, you can see the camera panning up and down. You can raise or lower the drone once again. And to exit any of these modes or all of these modes, you could either just go back in and push, like right now we're in the fly around mode, so I can just go back in, hit fly around, it'll cancel it. Or you can just tap the return to home button to start the return to home. It's going to cancel the mode that you're in, and then you can just cancel the return to home and you're back in manual mode. There's different ways to get out of these modes, but very, very cool to get some awesome shots. I use this on the boat more than anything because it kind of just circles the boat, gets you fishing, you know, from different angles. It's really sweet. But yeah, just so you know, you can change the diameter of the circle and the height of the drone while it's in the fly around or the orbit option. So there you go. You can see it works pretty flawlessly. It's an awesome feature for sure on this drone.
Another thing I want to mention, Ruko also offers this charging block. Basically allows you to charge both of your batteries and your remote control. So all three items simultaneously. So it's a 65-watt charging block. It comes in this nice little carrying case. You open it up and this is what it looks like. Again, 65 watts. Plug it right into the wall. It does come with a couple different connections if you're in a different country and you don't use the standard US outlet. But you can see on the other end, it has 3 total plug-in spots. It has ports. It has 2 USB-C and 1 USB-A. So again, with the cords, it does come with the cord. So with the cords that come with the drone itself and the one that comes with this, you can charge both your batteries and your remote all at the same time using this 65-watt charging block. I'll put a link to this down below the video as well if you want to check it out. There you have it, guys, the F11PRO 2 by Ruko. I will put a link down below if you want to check this out and pick one up. I definitely recommend it. After a couple months worth of use, you can see what this thing can do, how sturdy it is, especially even on a, you know, a pretty breezy day here. So yeah, give it a look, check it out. For a budget-friendly drone, this would be at the top of my list of ones that I've tested out and reviewed. So Ruko F11PRO 2. I'll put a link down below. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.